street, screaming justice, song for peace. Friends are lost, I'll never find. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. I took all of the drugs, but they don't make me high. See the names of the dead, they crawl in the sky. I just go to work, if I die, I die. Now for you I'd try, for you I'd try to survive, to survive, to survive, to survive, to survive, to
Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Keith Couser. I'm the Western Regional Sales Manager for ACP. We are the manufacturer of Amana commercial microwaves and Express Chef high-speed combination ovens. Before I dig in, just want to give a special shout out and thanks to Chef Adam Klosterman and the Curate team for allowing us their space and setting this up for us in their beautiful test kitchen here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Again, thanks for everyone for joining us. We're going to keep this pretty brief, hopefully have a little fun here in the kitchen. Hit some really key points, and there is a chat open on YouTube, so if you do have any questions along the way, which my screen just closed, but I can try to answer any questions as we go through this that you may have, if I could get my password right. Sorry. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So, who is ACP? Like I said, we're the manufacturers of Amana commercial microwaves and Express Chef high-speed combination ovens. We are an American manufacturer. We're based in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Every one of our finished goods comes out of our plant in Iowa, so just about 4 hours straight south of where I'm standing right now. In that facility, all of our microwaves come out of there, all of our speed ovens come out of there. Maybe why ACP versus some of the other brands out there? We are dedicated to the food service industry. All we do is make commercial microwaves and speed ovens. We don't make TVs, we don't make speakers, we don't make video game consoles. We are dedicated to food service, and we're very proud of that. Like I said, we are an American manufacturer. All of our finished goods do come out of Iowa. That's very important. We were 25 years in a row best in class in commercial microwaves. I don't even know if they give that award out anymore, since we kept winning it year after year, which is also something we're very proud of. our culinary center or our culinary contacts and our culinary team, whether that's ACP staff or our global culinary network and our national culinary network of our reps and distributors that have local culinary support wherever you may be, here in the United States or international, to help support you in your efforts when choosing a right microwave, choosing a right speed oven, or developing recipes down the road. And then one thing that I cannot leave out is our ComServe. Our ComServe team, if you're not familiar, it's our 24/7, 365 service team that is based out of our factory in Iowa. When you call that 800 number, you do call and talk to people at our factory. You don't get an automated messaging board or anything like that. And they take care of all of our service and warranty needs. And they're rock stars. So that's something that I always like to point out, that when you do go with us, when you do purchase one of our pieces of equipment, you are backed by our 24/7, 365 customer service and support team. So just want to make sure I hit on that. A couple things we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about microwaves, of course. That is our heritage. That's our core. I want to kind of explain how a microwave works, what's really going on inside of that little magic box, because I feel understanding what's going on inside of the microwave helps us select maybe a better microwave for our operation. What do we really need it for? There's a lot of 1,000-watt microwaves in places they're really not designed to go. So helping understand what's going on inside of that box when you start moving molecules around, I think helps us select a better unit for our operation. When we're talking about that, we're going to talk about wattage, higher wattage, what that means for cooking inside of a microwave. When you go from just kind of retherming something to actually being able to cook a product, what that really means is steaming in a higher wattage microwave, and why that's beneficial and how you go about doing that. And then I do want to make sure that we spend time with our Express Chef, our high-speed ovens. We've been in the high-speed game for decades now. We created a new brand name of our speed ovens under the Express Chef brand, just because we wanted to let it stand out on its own as we grow that category. Speed ovens out there with the ever-changing landscape in food service. Now with more reliance on drive-through and mobile ordering apps and curbside pickup, you need a hot product that's going to come out quickly and very high quality. And with labor, turnover in the food service industry is wild. So if you can have a piece of equipment that takes really minimal labor for that everyday operator, even better. Not to mention it's ventless as well. So we're going to kind of hit all of those. I'll try to keep my eye on the app over here. Looks like we're good to go. So here we are. So let's talk about microwave. Back in World War II, they were studying radar to track planes for the war, and a gentleman named Dr. Percy Spencer had a chocolate bar in his pocket, and it started to melt. Found out he was standing in front of basically a giant microwave. Usually when I'm in a room full of people right now, somebody inevitably asks, okay, did he die right away? No, he didn't. He lived to be 76 years old, which 100 years ago, give or take, when he was born in the late 1800s, that's a pretty long lifespan. So no, he was basically the inventor of the microwave oven, and he and a lot of other people smarter than I learned how to harness that energy into a cavity and what that can do for therming and cooking food. So a microwave is a radio wave. It's not radioactive. It's a radio wave, because there are misconceptions out there about what a microwave really does. That when you pulse the energy on and off inside of a cavity of an oven, just like you might flick a light switch on and off at an extremely rapid rate, that starts agitating molecules. Sugar, fat, but most importantly water molecules. It excites those molecules. The faster you can do that, it creates friction. Friction creates heat. That's how microwaves heat and therm food. As simple as that. Generally speaking, the higher the wattage of the microwave, the better it is on food. The gentler it is on food. We were probably all trained to believe the otherwise. I've had to remove the word nuke out of my vocabulary because it has so many negative connotations to it. And you think, oh, if you blast something with too much microwave that you're going to kill it, which depending on the food product, yeah, that might be the case. But the faster you can excite those molecules and get the product out of the oven, the higher the quality of food. For lack of a better term, time is kind of the killer when it comes to microwave cooking. I always use the example that maybe you have a barbecue, you grill some chicken breast one day, you've got leftovers, you throw it in your 1,000-watt, if you're lucky, 1,000-watt residential microwave at home to heat it back up. By the time the center part of that breast gets hot, what happens to the outside of the breast? It gets rubbery and dried out, right? That's because actually our residential microwaves, it might seem quick to us, but in the microwave world, it's actually pretty slow. So if you were to up the wattage, and I'm going to get to this other slide here in a moment, but if you're able to up the wattage and reduce that cooking time, you're going to get a much higher quality product. There are many uses of microwaves, as I mentioned. Steaming vegetables, retherming, steaming seafood actually, which we're going to show you here in a moment. I'm not going to go through this whole slide here about steaming all these different uses. I can certainly send this to anyone that would like, after this presentation is over. But another thing I want to mention too, before I continue on, is I don't know if any of you are familiar, Chef David Chang, very famous chef, restaurants all over the world, multiple Netflix shows. Kind of during the pandemic, when he was stuck at home with a newborn son, he kind of realized just how beneficial using his home microwave was. And he's actually been a huge champion of microwave cooking for the last couple of years, which has been great. And I think people are starting to realize, having something that's fast, easy to use, minimal labor, ventless, just how many benefits there are. But again, we got to use the right oven for the operation, right? So I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of 1,000-watt microwaves out there in the field. Oftentimes they're purchased because, let's be honest, they're inexpensive. And sometimes folks don't know the benefits of going to a higher wattage unit. So why would you cough up the money for 2-3 times the amount if you don't know the benefits that you're going to get? 1,000-watt microwaves are really, really light duty. They're really meant for like a teacher's break room, a side station, maybe where the servers are maybe therming something up really quick. They're not designed to go in a high volume commercial kitchen environment. That's just not what they're built for. They certainly have their place, but oftentimes we see too many of them in the line. They're getting replaced every couple months down the road, and why not get a piece of equipment that's going to last you much longer, it's going to be built to take the abuse, and it's going to be higher wattage. You're going to get better food quality. So how do we do that? Adam, can you get me on the slide of the wattage chart, please? Cool, thank you. So if y'all can see this wattage chart that we have here, it's a really nice tool, and I have this in PDFs for anyone that wants to, let us know, and we can send these off to you. It's a nice tool that when you're either talking to a customer or if you're looking at your menu, understanding, okay, if you look at that red column, the first column with the 1,000-watt microwave, this was, I believe, a potato that they were doing a test on. 4 minutes and 3 seconds is what it took to get up to that temperature for the test. Now, if you increase, you can go all the way up to the 2,200 watt, of course, and you went from 403 to about 1:50 just to get down to that, or to get up to that same temperature. You've almost cut the cook time in half. But even still, maybe not go to the 2,200, just go straight to the 1,200 watt. Just by adding 200 more watts, you've almost cut 50 seconds out of the cook time. As an operator, what your cook times may be and how important that could be. Faster ticket times, faster table turns, more money to your bottom line. Not to mention, going up in a higher wattage, your results are much better in the food quality. It's not listed on here, but 1,700 watts is kind of the magic number, if you will, that we say when you're powerful enough to really be an efficient steaming operation. Because, as I mentioned earlier, microwaves agitate sugar, fat, but most importantly, water molecules. When you can excite water molecules inside of a product very, very rapidly, you get excellent steamed food. I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. Actually, we got a lobster tail out here. Most people look at you like you're nuts when you say you're going to throw a lobster in a microwave. At the end of the day, when you're at this high wattage, you're not really in a microwave anymore. You're in a steaming vessel. And the beauty of it is, granted, we're here in this beautiful kitchen. Yes, there's a hood behind me, but over here, the AMSO microwave steaming oven, that's not under a hood. There's no water line going into this oven. There's no need for filtration, caustic chemicals, delime and descale. We all know what water does to equipment. It beats the heck out of it. And the way this works is basically we put this product inside of a pan, create a steam environment outside of there, and we're going to use the product's own moisture to steam. We did a test run earlier, and I had a chef down in Orlando once tell me he thought that steaming via microwave, and actually don't take his word for it, the owner of Legal Seafood agrees, that steaming lobster or seafood inside a microwave, a high wattage microwave, is the best way to steam because you're not washing out all of that natural flavor. This actually, we're here in Minneapolis, these were frozen, we thawed them out, but they still had that salty, briny flavor that we're not washing away. It's pretty incredible. So we will show that here in just a moment. But again, just to reiterate on these ovens, that you don't need to be under hood. You don't need a water connection. You don't need drain, caustic chemicals to delime and descale. Again, all of these things that go with owning and operating other conventional steamers essentially goes away. At the end of the day, that's a microwave. When it's on, it's on. When it's not, it's a paperweight. But when it's on, it's pretty incredible. So I'm going to do this here quickly just because I know that if we go too long here today, everybody's got things to do. And again, we appreciate you joining us. So what I'm going to do here is open this up. Typically, you're going to want to use the high temp amber pans. We went with this one today because we're not really going to be running this that often, and just wanted to be able to see inside of this pan here. So, got a little 4-ounce lobster tail. It does have a little pink color to it just because that's where it was up next to the shell. And I'm going to steam this from raw. Again, no water other than the moisture already inside the product. And I'm going to cook this in about 45 seconds. So, whenever I do these, oftentimes people want to look in there and say, where's the water coming from? Where's the water bath? It's just inside the product. This is a great rice cooker, a great pasta cooker as well. Obviously, you got to add water to that. You got to hydrate that product while it's in there. But for vegetables, for seafood, really incredible because you're not taking out, or you're going so quickly that you're not going to dry out this product. If I was to do this in a 1,000-watt microwave, it would be a rubber band by the time it was fully cooked. But because we're doing it at high wattage, it's going to come out perfect, and we got about 10 seconds left, and that'll be a perfectly steamed lobster tail. It's great for vegetables. If you ever think about even boiling vegetables at home, by the time you dump your pot water out, your pot water is green. That's all your chlorophyll, it's all your nutrients actually getting leached out of the vegetables while we're eating them in the first place. So, fully steamed, fully cooked, that was 45 seconds. Generally speaking, it's about, depending on the wattage of the oven you're using, it's about a minute per pound once we get up into the higher wattage units. This is a 2200 watt because that's the electrical that we had available. So if I was to do this in the 3500 watt, that probably would have taken about 30 seconds to steam this tail. And I'm going to, damn, that's hot. Plate that up. So, there's your little 4-ounce lobster tail. Voila. And I'm going to let this cool for a minute here, but it's going to be part of my lunch. That is hot and still steaming. So, where are these great for? Well, really anywhere that wants to steam. I actually just got an email today of a school that needs a couple of them. Yep, just want to make sure that wasn't going to fall off. Schools love these. Healthcare. Think about a hotel. Maybe doing a breakfast program in a hotel. Because there's, inside of this oven, there's 2 shelves. So you can fit 2 4-inch deep, full-size pans in there. So you could do a pan of scrambled eggs on one shelf, and you could do, let's say, sausage links or pancake kind of rounds or something like that for a hotel program. Seafood department in the supermarket, they love these. If you live anywhere near the coast and you want to be steaming fresh seafood, fresh catch, it's awesome. Not to mention, because you're doing such quick steaming, you don't have to do a lot of prep and then hold and then hope that you get busy that day. Much less waste because you're doing more on-demand steaming that's so fast. And like I said, when it's off, it's a paperweight. You're not sucking up energy. You're not running water through it all day just to generate the steam. And then you got to condense it back down because you can't put live steam down the drain. So, really cool piece of equipment. Just wanted to show that to you. And I purposely chose lobster tails just because it's something that most people wouldn't think would go inside of a microwave. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Last but not least, and again, we just want to keep going here because I don't want to take up your entire morning or afternoon or wherever the heck you are. But our Express Chef high-speed ovens. Again, Express Chef is our brand of high-speed combination ovens. That the brand name launched in January of 2020. We've been in the speed game for decades. This is our XC3i, or more affectionately known as the MRX, because that model number has been out for some time. We do have a larger cavity unit, the 4i, and then we have the 2c, which is also known as the jet wave, which was the original high-speed oven. We chose this one here today to show you, and what we're going to do is we kind of made a little play on a St. Patty's Day empanada. We got some corned beef that chef made in the cook and hold overnight, shredded that up. We've got cabbage inside of there. We've got some cheese. We've got a little nice stone ground mustard aioli here that we are going to finish these off in about 2 minutes. A from scratch, raw dough, little empanada. And I'll throw that in there and then I'll keep talking as I'm doing this. So our high resolution screen here, it's just like a smartphone. Once the chef work is done and all the settings are in place, how much microwave with how much fan, you can program it into the oven, select a picture for it, give it a name, and then that kid that was just hired 10 minutes ago, if he knows how to use a smartphone, all he needs to do is come here, swipe up on the screen, hit the button and come back when it beeps. It's just that easy. So there we go. We got about 2 minutes for that to cook off. So microwaves are great for heating food up. One thing they won't do is brown and toast. That's what a speed oven does. You add the combination of high wattage microwave with convection, some with impingement or that forced fan that comes down from the top that gets your more intense browning. And then our larger cavity oven, the 4i, actually has a 3,000 watt radiant coil on the bottom that allows for enhanced toasting. Better for, say, a pizza application, so you get that toasting crust on the bottom. But again, this is ventless. These can really be placed anywhere. Couple side filters. This is a 520 degree oven, super cool to the touch. Lay my arms up on it. Again, that high resolution screen that's customizable. You can put your photos on there, you can put your brand on there, your logo. 25 languages in there now. I know there might be some international people on this here today, just from some of the chatter that was on LinkedIn. So we've got 25 languages in the oven. Ethernet, USB, and Wi-Fi capable. That comes standard on the oven for connectivity. Whether that's looking at how many recipes have been run, in the oven, or developing recipes, you can actually do it from a program that you can download off our website and just upload it right onto a stick and upload it into the oven. It's just that simple. Super easy to clean. Non-stick liners can be installed in here. A little soapy water, paper towel, make it really easy to maintain your investment. And we got about 30 seconds here left. And I can't state this enough. We don't expect everyone to be experts on these ovens. That's our job. You all, whether you're a dealer or whether you're an end user, you got a lot of stuff going on. So that's why we have culinary staff. Again, whether it's ACP or whether it's like Adam here from Curate or wherever you are in the world, we have staff that knows how these ovens work. We know recipes. We help with recipe menu development, and that's just a service that we offer, for the life of the oven. That's a partnership that we bring. So we don't just drop a box off and say, okay, figure it out. We'll certainly help you along the way. So that was 2 minutes. And a nice baked empanada. Cut on the bias here. Ooh, it's hot, folks. Beautiful little corned beef and cabbage empanada. I'm gonna let that cool before I take a bite out of it because that is piping hot. And where are these great for? What? Oh. Also, we've had some previously made up here. A little stone ground mustard aioli, a little dipping sauce. Very, very nice. So, where might you place one of these ovens? Really anywhere that's got the power. That's the beauty of having this ventless equipment, is you can put them anywhere. I'm thinking kiosks, or we have a lot of C-store customers that use these because people come into the gas station or the convenience store, they want a slice of pizza, they want a toasted sandwich. Coffee shops, we have a lot of large chain customers that use these, global and national chains. Anywhere that you really want to toast and therm up hot food quickly, one of these is great for that. You know, fast food does not have to mean low quality food. When you put the right piece of equipment in with the right wattage and a little bit of culinary training that we will help on, you can really dial in some high quality food in a short amount of time. We oftentimes get asked, well, how fast can I do this? How fast can I do that? Yes, speed is important, but also having high quality really at the end of the day is what you want. So to incorporate those things together, the high quality of cook with the speed is really what we're looking for. So I'm going to look over here. Any questions here? Hospital room service, I see as a question. That's actually a great question. I had an assisted living facility, actually, something similar, but assisted living facility in Iowa that actually put 2 of these basically in an old broom closet. They got the electrical in there because they were down on a wing and stacked one right on top of the other. Granted, it was the larger version of this, but stacked it right on top of that one. And then they had room service for those people on the wing that were elderly. Maybe they couldn't make their way down to the cafeteria or to the dining room. So that's a great question. Absolutely. If you've got the power, and again, just because these are ventless, you can really put them anywhere. So that's great. Or hotel room service. Maybe the restaurant shuts down at evening, I don't know, 10 p.m., but you want to have a late night offering for your bar, or you want to have room service. You don't need a whole staff. Maybe you got a short menu, and you just need one person that could throw it in the oven, and boom, now you got room service, or now you can keep the bar open. Or, since I'm talking about bars, you know, I grew up a lot of my life in Iowa City, Iowa. Big bar town, big college town. It got to the point where there were so many bars down there that if a bar closed, a new bar could not go in, basically unless they were proving that they had food sales. Well, depending on the establishment, maybe they didn't have a kitchen. You get this in a cooler, you get one of these or 2 of these in a cooler, all of a sudden you're in the food service business very, very easily without having to go, you know, refurb or remodel your entire establishment just because you maybe didn't have hood, maybe you didn't have the water connection and all things like that. Easily you're in food service. 1,000-watt version of this one, great for food trucks because the generator can hold that. The 2,000-watt on the 30 amp, that's a little heavy, but the 20 amp service on a food truck is excellent. I know folks that do that. They can do hot steam or hot baked food on a food truck because it's mobile. Really, really many applications for it. You can really put these anywhere. So, very good question. I don't see really any other questions at the moment. So, that's kind of where we're at. I just want to thank you all for your time. Hopefully that was informative. It's my first time doing this, so this is cool. I actually hope I get to do more of these in the future and dial things in. And if you do have any questions, please add them to the chat, or Adam, is my email available there? Or we can throw it in. So we'll throw it in the chat. But if any of y'all have any questions, please reach out to me. Happy to help. And yeah, good luck cooking. Thanks, everybody.